everybody get ready for NFL Week 2. We're releasing the file today or tomorrow, and we are at a nudist beach in Florida. And the reason why we're here is I thought this was a pretty good analogy for what's going on with the football file. All right, we need at least a few weeks of data in the file in order for it to be reliable. So you're going to see a bunch of picks come out here for Week 2, and we don't have a ton of data, so some are going to work out, some aren't. There's going to be distortions. Think about it this way. If you're going into a nudist beach for the first time, and you're going to be going to take a dip in the water, and you don't know if it's going to be warm or if it's going to be cold because you just don't have enough data yet. Do you really want to jump into some really cold water in a nudist beach? Think about it that way. So let's take a look at the picks. Good day, everyone. It is Week 2. We're on to Sunday now of the NFL Pick Sprapp. We have a whole lot of work done on this file over the last few days. We're getting ready to go here. We're getting ready to start actually make some picks over the next few weeks, and we're starting to get more data into the file, as you can tell. So what I'd like to talk about today in this video is just some preliminary information about this week, and for our subscribers only are going to get the actual predicted scores and offensive roster scores and defensive roster scores to create the point projections. Everything that's going to the subscribers is going to be that complete information. What you're seeing right now here in this video, if you're not one of the subscribers who receives the file, is a team win strength prediction right here, which is based off of the same formulas we've been using for years, although there's only 1 week of stat data in here because we're only in Week 2. So this information, as you caught the beginning of the video where I was at the nudist beach and I said you really need to take this under consideration. We don't have enough information yet. So this information here, these are tentative win strength percentages. As soon as you get the offensive and defensive roster scores, which I'm going to show you right here, things are going to change. There are people that are going to be in and out. For example, I know that Josh Gordon on Cleveland right here is out. He is out. Something has happened. So I need to remove him from Cleveland's lineup. And the way that we are going to be altering these things and changing them all the time, as you can see here, let's put that up there, is people that are out. Once we refresh those, people that are out, we don't want to see those people. So I just removed Josh Gordon from here, and you see that's probably going to change. If we take a look back, it's actually going to change what Cleveland's wide receiving core had looked like. They're actually going to lose some value there because he had a really good game in Game 1 against Pittsburgh. So we're going to be going through and updating all the injuries for the week and pulling those people out of the lineups so that we have a more reliable roster score here. So let's talk about the games real quickly. If you're interested in subscribing to this file, it's $100 for the year, and you'll get one every week like this Sunday morning before the games, and also Thursday before the game as well. It will be helpful. It's going to be really helpful starting in about Week 5. So is there anything we can act upon given the limited information that we have here in Week 1? And of course, who doesn't want to mess around? So let's try it. We were wrong about the Baltimore game on Thursday, and the reason why I believe we were wrong, we had Baltimore over Cincinnati. I believe we were wrong because Buffalo, the team that Baltimore played in the first week, is not a professional football team. Without Tyrod Taylor, they just got utterly destroyed, and Baltimore killed them, and it made Baltimore's offense actually look better than it should have been. You can see them up here. They had a 4.16 offense. They put up 47 points, but the team they were playing is not very good. So I think that we overestimated Baltimore's ability. Cincinnati played a good game against Indianapolis, which is a better team than Buffalo. So what we were able to see is that Cincinnati's defense was better, and that'll play in later in the season as we go, and we really can average all these stats together. Now, so our 1 o'clock games today, Indianapolis and the Redskins. So like we said, Indianapolis lost last week to Cincinnati. So the Redskins beat Arizona, but Arizona does not look like a very good team either. So just knowing that alone, I would say that the Skins could win this game. I don't like them by 6 points. I like Indianapolis +6 because this is going to be a fight. Washington never really destroys anyone who's reasonable. So I think that it's an interesting game. You can see they're heavily favored 26%. That's above our threshold. They'll probably win this game, but I don't like them with the 6 points. If we look at, you'll see what I'm doing for the subscribers in a more extensive video, something that will be released just to subscribers every week, is we go through this in the roster here, and we can create a slicer for these teams and do the comparison this way and say, all right, we have an Indianapolis-Washington game, right? So we can just pick those teams, Indianapolis and Washington. And you can see that the way they're lining up from that first game is that look at that, Indianapolis's wide receiving core, even though they didn't, I think they only got 13 or 17 points in the first game, look how much better that is than the Redskins receiving core. It was a running game that ended up pushing Washington over Arizona. So you'd have to say, well, how are the linebackers and the defensive tackles and defensive ends? I really need to know my football positions. People that are going to be defending against the run. Does Indianapolis have any of that? You can see the DT is bad. Defensive end's a reasonable number there. You can see who those people are and where there's, like Marcus Hunt, I guess, is a good player. You're really going to get an amazing amount of detail as we go through this. That's why I'm so excited about this. Anyway, but that's out more for the subscribers. Let's just do a quick review here because I know everyone's got to go. So it likes Washington. That's probably okay, but we see that Washington's passing. That's why I don't like them by 6, because their passing game doesn't look like they have enough of a passing game and did a lot of running. All right, Carolina and Atlanta. I'm sure there's rain all over the East Coast too as well with the storm. My goodness, I wonder what's going to happen today. Heavily favored. That's a pretty big favorite. Wow. Let's see what it's saying. All right, so here's I would stay away from this game, by the way. This is tougher than it looks. I don't think Carolina is really 27% favorite there. Chargers and the Bills. So what did we say about the Bills? We said they're not a professional football team, even though maybe they're actually a professional football team. They're not a professional football team. They're not playing like one. So I'm tempted to take the Chargers minus 7.5, but if you don't, you just take them at minus 310 because I don't think Buffalo's going to be winning many games at all this year. Houston and Tennessee, the battle of the T's. Boy, it's a toss-up. Says stay away. It's week 2. Stay away from that. Kansas City and Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh clearly not the team of the past, even though Cleveland picked up Jarvis Landry and a couple other people on Cleveland that helped them out, but they're without Josh Gordon this week. But forget about Cleveland for now. I like Kansas City in this game. I don't know about the 4.5 because Roethlisberger, he works his magic. But Kansas City likes to start off the season like 3 or 4-0, and Pittsburgh, you can kind of smell that they're going to start out 0-1-1. It just seems like a weird season for them. So I would definitely take Kansas City today, even though I say don't pay attention to any of this because it's only week 2, but I would take Kansas City. Miami and the Jets. I'm in Miami. The game is not in Miami. The Jets. I don't know enough about this game. I haven't watched I didn't catch really any football in week 1. This is kind of a toss-up at 3. I don't know what to do there. We'll have to look at team stats. Philly and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay came off really, really hot against New Orleans. Philly's defending champions, 166. Now, what's intriguing is that because of that big game early in week 1, Tampa is showing as a favorite here. Philly also won in week 1 on Thursday night. So, this is where you can definitely see distortion because we only have 1 week of data in here. I don't think Philly should really be an underdog. As you can see, Vegas has them as a favorite. But Tampa Bay looks like a better team this year. So maybe you take Tampa Bay plus 3, but it's too early to tell. So that's why you kind of want to stay away. Cleveland and the Saints. So this should be very interesting. I definitely like Cleveland plus 9.5, even without Josh Gordon. Let me tell you why. Because if you grab Cleveland and New Orleans, you can see that wide receiving core in Cleveland, even without Gordon now, the running. Look at the running on Cleveland. Like, really? Chubb, Hyde. Oh, they picked up Carlos Hyde. That's why. See how these reasons kind of play themselves out? Interesting. So Cleveland's defense also phenomenal, unbelievable. Really? Wow. If any of our point contribution scores mean anything here, that is interesting. So I would say, I complained about Cleveland all before the season started. I will listen to information. I would take Cleveland plus 9.5 here. They're actually favored in our file. How is that? Because the Saints lost. Saints have no defense. You definitely take the Browns plus 9.5 there. I don't know why I'm telling you to take Cleveland. Who am I? All right, Arizona and the Rams. 13 points. They don't even have a money line here. Arizona really seems like a miserable team. What happened? Yeah, I think you just take even if you can get a line. I don't even know if you can get a line there. They're not even up yet. Detroit and the Niners. That looks like a toss-up. That sounds like a toss-up, that game. I don't want to stay away from that. If anything, probably take Detroit plus 6. Patriots and Jags. This is going to be a very good game. Interesting. No money line on it yet, huh? Jacksonville. There's no rain down here. I could make it to Jacksonville for that game. Man, tough call. Yeah, too early in the season to tell. It's going to be a very good game to watch. Oakland and Denver. Denver heavily favored. Oakland lost to the Rams, right, in week 1. I think Denver winning this game is probably the good play in Denver. That seems right. After they beat Seattle last week, so that makes sense. I don't know about the 6.5, but I like them winning on the money line. And the Giants and Dallas, that's going to be a fun game at night, but it's like a toss-up. Giants are probably going to lose because they stink, so I'd probably take Dallas. And then Monday night, we'll talk about that. We'll do another video for Monday. So anyway, for the subscribers, you're going to be getting more extensive data and really point prediction scores based on all of this roster information. If you'd like to become a subscriber, please do. It's $100 for the year, and I'll also start offering the file once a week for $20 if you just want 1 week of the file, and then start messing around with it yourself. If you're doing Pee Wee football, or no, Pee Wee, that's not even, it's Pop Warner, I think football. If you're coaching football, I think that this setup here, right here, really analyzing what contribution all these different positions can have in a game. I think this is actually really relevant information for coaches to determine where to place their players and also what to have them focusing on. Like assists on tackles and things. It's all kinds of weird information in here that as we weight this and figure out how this translates into a solid defense or a productive offense, we're really going to analyze how the game of football is played. So if there's one survivor pool pick you needed to make and you hadn't made it for Thursday, I think that pick is probably going to be either the Rams. I like Denver a lot here. I think Dallas is a good pick. It's the Chargers. It's the Chargers as your one survivable pick because Buffalo, according to all accounts, Buffalo is just miserable. So that's it. Good luck, everybody, and may your picks be winning.